Hey YouTube, 85cc Master here doing a top-end disassembly video for the 2005 through 2007 kx250. Now, to get to the top end, you're going to want to take the subframe, the airbox, the muffler, etc. off the back end. You just got to disconnect. Well, I'd advise taking the muffler expansion chamber off before doing anything, and that's what I did. But there's just 3 Allen bolts right here, down there, and right there. You take those off, pull the whole entire back assembly off. Of course, loosen up the little bolt right here that clamps onto the back of the car. Take your seat off, and then you got all that out of the way. Then you're gonna come over here, disconnect the carb from the cylinder, pull your power valve, breather hose off, disconnect your fuel line, take the tank off. Then you're gonna, I have my radiator hose right here, it'll be fine. Take the radiator hose off the top of the cylinder, and then take your acorn nuts off the cylinder head, pull the cylinder head off. Make sure you don't lose your O-rings if they're torn or something. I'm going to leave them in there though. And then you got your cylinder head off. You got your gas tank off. Of course, pull your spark plug cap off. And once you got all that stuff out of the way, you're ready to start taking the cylinder off. And we'll work on that point now. Alright, so the next step, and of course so you have to take off your motor mounts when you're taking your head off. But anyways, next step, taking the 4 main big cylinder nuts on each side. Take those off. Those are 14mm. And of course this one's hidden up behind the power valve cover, which I've already taken off. Once you get power valve cover off, those are 8mm, 4 of them holding the power valve cover on. Take that cover off. Take your 4 cylinder nuts, take those off. Next step, getting the power valve linkage arm off. It's simple, it's 8mm on there. You see that indentation right there? Let me get my screwdriver. This is what you have to do when you install this linkage arm. But that indentation right there, once you get your linkage arm hooked onto the slot right here, it's kind of square shaped, and it has to be lined up like this, not facing up and down, this rod right here, but it has to be in this position right here. If this end right here is facing the other way, the power valve inside is going to look completely wrong, and I'll show you that once I get the cylinder off. But in this way, and then when you're tightening this nut right here up, it's going to want to pull this linkage arm up. So that's when you get your screwdriver, stick it in this indentation made into the cylinder, and you'll hold it like that so the arm doesn't want to raise up. So you just stick it in there and tighten the nut up. But once you pull it, actually I'll pull this off right now. Give it a little move. Alright, and there's a spring right there. Do not lose that. Alright. And once you get that off, you're ready to move on. Alright, so you're up until all the points that I've shown. You have to get the radiators out the way. You can see how I did it. I bolted some bolts, moved them out the way so the front of the cylinder and power valve cover could clear the radiators, the bottom of the radiators. Tap it with a rubber hammer, the cylinder, Move it around, wiggle it, make sure no dirt or anything falls down in there. And then pull the cylinder off. As you can see, there's some scoring going on this piston. The rings are still there intact, but yes, the piston has some very coarse scoring on it, mainly right there. We'll grab the cylinder, grab it right here and pick this up. Can't really tell, but you can see how there's some scoring on the cylinder as well. I don't know if that'll hone because I can kind of see the layers down in there. So we'll see. I'll definitely take this to the shop for them to look at it and tell me if I should replate it or just rehone the cylinder, slap some new piston ring in there. So we'll see. And that's what the power valve will look like. It's still in that position. It'll really only stay in that position. How it's bolted up and everything inside this, behind this cover. But I'll show that once I take the cover off, when I'm reassembling the top end. So there's a disassembly of a kx250 2005 through 2007 top end. And my last thing to say is make sure you have a clean rag or paper towel so no debris falls down into the engine cavity down there where the oil and air mix. Oil, fuel, and air. Hope you enjoyed the video. If I missed anything, I do not think I missed anything. I've taken this top end apart 3 times on this bike so far. So this is a video by 85cc Master. Hope you enjoyed it. Got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you very much. Have a great day.